Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this week on Pokémon Go we have seen the release of the first of 3 Galar starter Pokémon in their Gigantamax forms. Gigantamax Rillaboom has made its Pokémon Go debut, and it is in conjunction with the in-person Go Fest event in Osaka, and that is the first of 3 in-person Go Fest events before we then get the global Go Fest at the end of June. So with Gigantamax Rillaboom being released in the game, a few questions still remain. How does it pair up against a fellow Gigantamax grass type, one that we've been having in the game for quite some time now, Gigantamax Venusaur, and where does it sit within that tier, and can you get it shiny? Let's have a quick look and see Gigantamax Rillaboom in Pokemon Go and see how good it actually is. So, first of all, the shiny. You cannot get it shiny, unfortunately, because Grookey, its first evolution, or any of the Galar starters, in fact, have not had their community day. I would fully expect they will have a community day in 2026 at some stage, and then we may see a re-roll of these Gigantamax Pokemon, the likes of Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon, all getting re-released next year sometime, where we then can get them shiny. But as for now, we can't get them shiny, so it is only the hundos or a decent stat one that we can be chasing at this moment in time. But in terms of Gigantamax Rillaboom as a grass type attacker on Pokemon Go, where does it sit against Gigantamax Venusaur? Of course, Venusaur, Blastoise and Charizard were the first ever Gigantamaxes released in the game. So where does Gigantamax Rillaboom sit against Venusaur as a grass type attacker? Now, those are the only two main Gigantamax grass types in the game so far, and it'll probably remain that way for quite some time. So how does Gigantamax Rillaboom fare? Well, we're going to put some stats up on the screen, and first we'll start off with Gigantamax Venusaur. Now, Gigantamax Venusaur, like I said, has been in the game for quite some time, but its best moveset is here on the screen. You can see that Vine Whip and G-Max Vine Lash is its best moveset. Now, with those movesets, it gives it a total damage output, so a TDO, of nearly 400. So that is actually a pretty decent TDO score. And DPS, damage per second, it gets a very reasonable 23.25. So that is actually really good as a Gigantamax. We've not seen anything as high as that for quite some time in terms of a grass typing. But Gigantamax Rillaboom has now been released. So how does that fare? So Gigantamax Rillaboom, you can see here, its best moveset is actually a fast type of a scratch move, which is a normal type move. And then we have G-Max Drum Solo. Now, the G-Max Drum Solo is, of course, its legacy move. It probably won't get that. You won't be able to TM it. And, of course, Gigantamax, you can't change the charge move anyway. So it is an exclusive move to Rillaboom. So with that moveset, and of course, with it being from the Galar region, the very same region that gave us Gigantamax and Dynamax in the first place, you'd probably expect it to be quite high up on the list, and you will be right. It actually outclasses Gigantamax Venusaur with that moveset. Scratch is a fast move, and then G-Max Drum Solo gives it a DPS of 24.38, which is nearly 1.5 stats higher than the DPS stat that G-Max Venusaur had, and we have a TDO of 440, which is 40 more than G-Max Venusaur, so it definitely beats it in terms of a grass type attacker. Now, if you was unsure about using Scratch, a fast move, as a fast attacker, then you could actually change that to the next best grass type move, which is Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf, for a fast move with G-Max Drum Solo as a charge move, would still give you a higher TDO and DPS than G-Max Venusaur. A TDO of 430, which again is more than 30 stats higher than G-Max Venusaur's best moveset. And we have a DPS of 23.85, which again sits a lot higher than the 23.25, or at least half a stat higher than the 23.25 of G-Max Venusaur. So again, even with its second best moveset, Gigantamax Rillaboom is outclassing G-Max Venusaur in every scenario. So Gmax Rillaboom has now been released on Pokemon Go. Unfortunately, it can't be shiny, but it will remain the best Gmax grass-type attacker in the game for quite some time. I can't see another Gmax grass-type attacker on the horizon that could defeat it. So maybe it remains the #1 grass-type Gmax in the game for good. But then again, we don't know what's around the corner. So we'll wait and see. But still, for the foreseeable future, Gmax Rillaboom is a very, very good grass type. Unfortunately, you can't get it shiny, but we will be able to get that next year, hopefully, after the com days of its starter Pokemon. So let me know in the comments below what you think of Gmax Rillaboom being released on Pokemon Go. Have you been doing loads this weekend and this week with the Osaka invites as well? Let me know in the comments. That Hundo CP you need to be chasing for is $18.99. Make sure to make a note of that. $18.99 for a Hundo CP. Let me know if you've got anywhere close to that in the comments. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.